Welcome back to Ant Recaps. Today, I'm going to explain the movie Livid, released in the year 2004. At the start of the movie, a young woman sitting at a bus stopped. Her name was Lucy, and there were some pictures of missing children nearby. Meanwhile, a lady arrives in a car and reveals herself to be Lucy's teacher. Lucy, in fact, is a nurse on an internship with her teacher. Today is her first day, and as she is leaving, the teacher notices Lucy's new eye color. She inquires of Lucy, who responds, "Yes, I went to the doctor, and this is a medical condition. It is normal, but the teacher believes that if a person has two different colored eyes, he or she has another soul or two souls can come into that person's body." They reach their first patient while talking, and the teacher tells Lucy there are many patients who can't walk. That's why I used to visit their house, and I do have a key to their house. Lucy sees a male patient when she moves inside, but he can't walk. But the patient was scared of the injection, and Lucy makes him believe to be relaxed and the injection will be painless. "I will inject this injection." Calmly, the patient becomes emotional after the injection and tells her about his son. They were getting late and they have to leave after it. They go for the treatment of their next patient and then went to their last patient's home. Her name was Deborah, and her house was on the way to the forest. Reaching there, the teacher says to Lucy, this patient, "Deborah is special, so stay here, and I'll go inside." And then she goes inside with her medicine bag. Lucy couldn't stop herself after waiting for a long time outside and move inside. Lucy finds the house strange because there were animal statues and pictures on its wall. Later, she comes upstairs while following the voice of her teacher. The teacher says while seeing, "Lucy, you seem so interested to learn this job, and this is a good thing." The teacher tells Lucy this patient, Deborah, was a famous dance teacher, and the kids even from a far distance come here for learning dance. Lucy opens a window while seeing the darkness in the room. Meanwhile, Lucy sees many books there. Lucy chooses a book as the teacher said with closed eyes. A butterfly appears from the book as Lucy opens it later. Lucy places it again without reading it, and then comes to Deborah. She sees a key in her neck. Meanwhile, Lucy sees the teacher is changing Deborah's blood. She was injecting her new blood. The teacher tells Lucy that she doesn't understand why Deborah's blood needs to be changed so frequently. "I am not a doctor, and I do my job as I was assigned." Now the teacher starts telling interesting facts about Deborah, as she has a daughter who can't speak since her childhood. Deborah is a rich lady, and it is said there is treasure hidden in this house. Even I tried many times to find out the treasure, but I didn't find any treasure here. Then they leave for home after changing her blood. The teacher drops Lucy. On a porta there was her friend, and she goes to meet him. The teacher kidnaps a girl while leaving, and we will know later why this teacher has done this. Lucy meets her friend, who actually does a job on the boat later. They go into a bar and move out from there. Lucy's brother and father also do a job there, and they sit at a table. Lucy's friend asks her how was her first day at her job. Lucy says it was fine, but there are many patients who can't walk or talk. "And you remember the deserted house where that old lady lives today? I went inside it. My teacher was telling me there is treasure hidden in that house. I don't know whether it is true or not." And then Lucy's brother arrives, and he has brought beer for them. Lucy's friend becomes excited to hear about treasure. He says we should find out the treasure because now I am fed up and don't want to do a job for my whole life on the boat. Lucy becomes angry to hear about the robbery and comes out of the bar. Her friend comes behind her and tries to make her understand while saying, "Lucy, try to understand your financial condition is also not so good. Your father also needs money, so you should think about it calmly, and you should definitely think about it. Later, Lucy comes home and the scene shifts to Lucy's teacher. She was taking out that girl's blood whom she kidnapped on the way. She was taking out this blood for none other than Deborah. That means the kids who are missing in the city are kidnapped by this teacher. Lucy sees her father, who was talking to a lady on the phone here. Lucy makes him understand how bad it is. Just a few months past my mother's death, and you are doing this kind of act. Her father has decided and says the lady I am talking to is a good human, and she will come to meet us the next week. Lucy was sitting there being sad and sees a vision of her mother. Lucy calls her friend at night and says, I am ready to do a robbery in Deborah's house. Lucy, her friend, and her brother meet after a few days, and Lucy's brother comes here in his car. Later, they move to the forest while sitting in the car here. Lucy's friend asks her brother to stop the car at a distance from Deborah's house, so there will not be any noise produced, and they do the same. They stop their car at a distance at Deborah's house, and Lucy takes them into her house, but the main gate of the house was closed. They move inside while jumping, reaching there. They didn't find any door open when they tried to move inside. It was late at night, so Lucy and her brother asked to go home. Lucy's friend doesn't agree and finds a window open in the basement after finding a lot. They move inside and find many old things there and many spider webs. It means none come here for years after it. They move to the ground floor through the stairs. Later, Lucy's friend asks them to find out the treasure during this. Lucy's brother gets scared to see a toy animal. As he moves aside being scared, the jar also falls from him. Lucy's friend asks them to move upstairs when they don't find anything, and they come to the first floor. Deborah's room was on the top floor, and they come into a room. There were many toys. Seeing it, Lucy's brother considers it a baby's room. Lucy tells her brother about Deborah's daughter. Meanwhile, Lucy's friend calls them inside the hall. The animals' toys were sitting on the dining table, and Lucy's brother asks why this house is not like others. Why does this is looking so strange? It is obvious none has its answer, and moving forward, they find a locked door. Lucy's friend becomes happy and claims that the treasure will be in it. He says this is the reason that the room is locked here. Lucy remembers the key hanging from Deborah's neck. She tells her friend about it, and they went upstairs into Deborah's room. Deborah was laying on her bed as usual, and Lucy comes to her slowly. Then she takes out the key from her neck. Lucy friends open the door when they come back, but the key wasn't fixed in the lock, so her friend breaks the door. They only have this way to move inside and find a statue there. It was covered with a cloth, and removing the cloth they discover it was a girl, not a statue. Lucy considers maybe this girl is a treasure for Deborah. She thinks maybe she is her daughter, and then Lucy sees a box downside. There was a keyhole in it. When Lucy moves the key inside it, the girl starts moving. Music also starts playing in the house. As the music plays, Lucy's friend hits the girl. Due to it, the music stops suddenly. They hear someone running while they were discussing it. Lucy's friend realizes that they may be in danger, so we have to leave soon from here. They return to the basement so they can move out through the window. Now the window wasn't open, but there were iron wires here. Lucy remembers there is a window in Deborah's room through which they can move out. They move to Deborah's room but get shocked to see that she wasn't in the room. They don't waste their time in the hurry of moving out of there. Lucy and her friend were opening the window, but seeing the things there, Lucy's brother sees Deborah's vision in the mirror. After it, He finds himself in an empty room. Meanwhile, Lucy and her friend don't find her brother with them. They come downstairs to find him on another side. Lucy's brother finds himself in an operation theatre when he turns the lights on. There were many machines and jars in which there were dead animals. Meanwhile, he hears someone's voice and he gets scared and picks up a rod nearby, but suddenly few girls arrive. They were the girls whom Deborah teaches dance here. They beat Lucy's brother even though they end him. During this, Lucy's brother shouts, and Lucy come here along with her friend hearing his voice. Reaching here, Lucy's friend starts breaking the door from where the voices were coming. Lucy finds a note from a book that was placed there and discovers about Deborah's daughter from it. Lucy suspects the things are connected to Deborah's daughter due to it. They find her body, then they come to the dining hall from that toy room, the place where the animal toys were sitting. Meanwhile, Lucy searches one of the cupboards and discovers a blood-splattered dress. Then the toys turn their face to Lucy. Here we see Deborah sitting on a chair. She immediately controls Lucy. Then Lucy sits in front of her and puts her hands in her hands. After it, Lucy sees a flashback, and it was the time when Deborah teaches dance to girls. One day, Deborah notices one of the girls wasn't dancing properly due to it. Deborah scolds her and throws her out from there. Deborah's daughter takes the girl with her while calling her when she was collecting her things. Meanwhile, Deborah hears the girl's shouting voice, so she skips the dance class and goes to her daughter's room to see what's going on. Deborah sees her daughter was sucking that girl's blood reaching here. She makes her daughter understand to do this with strangers. Otherwise, we will be caught if someone will suspect us. Here we discover actually Deborah and her family are vampires. Getting angry with it, Deborah's daughter moves into the sunlight and she starts flying in the air, but her skin was burning. Deborah moves there immediately and saves her. Meanwhile, Lucy awakes. Lucy's friend hears someone's voice when he was breaking the door, and when he moves forward to check, Lucy's brother was standing there. He had blood on his clothes and had covered his face with a cloth. Lucy's brother attacks him as her friend moves to remove the cloth from his face. Then he starts beating him because he has now become a vampire. Lucy comes downstairs hearing the shouting voice of her friend, but the door of the room gets locked automatically. On another side, Lucy's friend has to end her brother in his defense. Lucy's friend weeps after ending him because he didn't want to end him. Deborah arrives during this, and before Lucy's friend can do anything, she ends him and sucks his blood. As he dies, the door opens where Lucy was imprisoned, but she was coming to her friend downstairs. Meanwhile, she sees Deborah coming upstairs and runs back to the room in which there was the body of Deborah's daughter. Lucy notices that Deborah's daughter's nose is bleeding, indicating that she is still alive. Here, Lucy again sees a flashback and sees Deborah behaves badly with her daughter. One day, while teaching her dance, she breaks the backbone of her daughter. Lucy took pity on Deborah's daughter seeing it, and she asks, "Are you alive? Can you hear me?" Suddenly, Deborah's daughter attacks Lucy, but she makes her faint while beating her during the fight. Then Lucy's teacher arrives and makes Lucy faint while beating her. Lucy finds herself on a stretcher in the operation theatre when she awakes. Here we discover Lucy's teacher is also one of Deborah's students. She was present there when her daughter's bone was broken. It is shown in the present that Deborah brings her daughter into the operation room. She first places her finger in Lucy's belly, then in her daughter's neck. After doing this, Deborah starts performing a ritual. Later, a butterfly is transferred from Lucy's mouth to Deborah's daughter's mouth. With it, their souls also exchange after it. The teacher brings Deborah's daughter in front, who is now in Lucy's body. Deborah's daughter was looking in the mirror and seeing her new body, but again, Deborah asks her daughter to dance forcefully. Getting irritated with it, her daughter ends Deborah, and later ends her teacher as well. Later, she awakes Lucy and opens her eyes to bring her to her senses. Those were actually sold by Deborah. Deborah is shown still alive and attacks them, but this time, Deborah's daughter ends her while pushing her from the stairs. The next day, Deborah's daughter and Lucy go to a rock near the shore of the stream, reaching here. Lucy removes the blanket. Now, because she was in a vampire's body, so she starts flying and her body starts melting. She was burning gradually, and Deborah's daughter becomes happy to her because Deborah never gives freedom to her body. Her body was completely free today. This movie concludes with her smile. Thanks for watching.